All right, guys, today's lesson is all about how to create speed in the transition with your arms. Yes, speed in the transition. How about that? Best golfers in the world move their arms very quickly as they change direction relative to the speed they're spinning their bodies, okay? They enter the spin phase a lot later in their swing. Most of you are tying your arms to your body up here and spinning your way to more speed. It's causing an early release. You have to stand up, you pull your arms towards you, a lot of slicers, a lot of people driving in the slow lane. Golfers that hit the ball a long way understand we've got to get the arms moving faster and get them dropping in front of our body in order to sequence our arms with our body, right? There's a marriage between the articulation of the wrists, the swinging motion of the arms, and of course that dynamic pivoting motion of the body. And that's what good golfers understand. They know how to use their hands and arms proficiently, and they have permission in many respects to work on what you see. A lot of these great coaches are working on body dynamics. They're working with elite golfers because when you're hitting at 280 and 290 and you're struggling with a hook, you might want to learn how to use your body a little bit more to stabilize the club face. But for 80% of you that haven't learned to use your hands and arms correctly, I want you to work on that. I want you to feel the club head. I want you to feel how the club releases. I want you to feel how the arms drop. Use your body as a transport mechanism, guys, okay? Use it as a force multiplier, but you have to use your body at the right time. And that's really what this is all about. It's trying to create good timing in your golf swing. So let's talk about this. So what I'm looking to do here, guys, is I'm looking to understand that my arms in the golf swing are responsible for the verticals. A little bit like an elevator in a building. The arms work up and the arms work down. And that gives us a lot of momentum as we hit the golf ball. The further I can get my hands from the golf ball, the more momentum I can create at impact, okay? If my hands are only traveling to here, it's going to be a lot harder to create momentum as opposed to if my hands are traveling up here. So if we can get the arms working up in the backswing, we can get the arms working down. And that's ultimately what we want to do. Now, at the same time we're doing this, this is where most people get very confused. There is a drift phase in the transition where we kind of recenter and get ourselves ready to release the golf club. So as the arms are dropping, guys, we've also got the body gliding a little bit. Can you see that? So when I go to the top of my backswing, if I just do a hug drill, make a good turn, and as we transition right at the top of the backswing, we want to kind of recenter. We want to feel that pressure moving into the lead side, okay? So notice when I do this, I'm gliding with my lower body, but I'm keeping my upper body facing back. Good golfers keep their backs to the target a lot longer. Now, what does that do? If you keep your back to the target, it gives your arms room to work down. And if your arms are working down, you're naturally shallowing the golf club. That's what I want you to understand, guys. For those of you that slice, for those of you who are struggling with speed, this is so incredibly important because there are different ways to shallow the golf club, okay? You can shallow it with your wrists. We can get to the top of the backswing. We can move this way. What I don't like with that move is it's a natural club face opener. Also, if we get the club moving too much this way and we create momentum, it gets the butt end of the golf club moving out away from our body, okay? You want to strike the ball well, we need the butt end of the club moving towards us. We don't want the butt end of the club moving this way. We want the butt end of the club moving back towards us. So I'm not a huge fan of shallowing this way. If you've been doing it since you were 8 years old, keep doing it, right? But if you're struggling with your golf swing, a lot more challenging. Here's the other way you can shallow a golf club. You can shallow it with your body. You can shallow it by early extending and right side bending. That's secondary tilt this way. That's terrible. What it does, it moves the low point further back because your swing center, of course, is moving further back. But it does shallow the golf club, okay? So, you know, there are different ways of doing this. I just happen to believe if your arms drop, that's the best way of shallowing the golf club, okay? Rather than some of this other stuff, which I think relies on too much timing. Very, very difficult to do that consistently well. So a couple of really good drills. Just take a golf ball, okay? Put the club out in front of you, get into a good posture, and just start to throw a ball into a screen here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a turn. My arm's going to work up, it's going to work down, okay? My right elbow essentially is a lot closer to my body in this part of the swing, and then it moves away from my body. And most of you at this point here are not reconnecting your elbow to your right hip, right? You've heard about jamming your right elbow in towards your right hip. I'm not a huge fan of that. That gets us very, very narrow, very difficult to time that. But there is some truth in the fact that the right elbow stays ahead of the right wrist. There is some truth in the fact that the arms definitely want to work down in front of us, because we've got more leverage when the arm is in front of the hip. If the arm's behind the hip, of course, we've got nothing. If the arm's in front of the hip, we've got a lot, okay? That's that body force multiplier that we want to use, okay? So what I want to do here is toss a ball into a screen a few times, and I'm going to feel like I swing my arms almost past my body at this point. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to throw it into the screen. Now what this does, it keeps my upper body facing forward for a lot longer. That's what's going to allow your arms to work down in front of your body. Remember, if your body is outrunning your arms and you're spinning too early, your body then has to stall for your arms to catch up. I see that all the time. So that's a really, really good drill to get your arms swinging faster and also to get them swinging more freely. I hope that helps, okay? So we're going to do it one more time. If this moves forward, you know you're spinning. So this is obviously what I'm looking to do here. So I want to go to the top. Okay, there's my right arm working up. Here's my right arm working down. As I'm doing that, I'm recentering, okay? I'm not moving this independent of my arm any more than I'm moving my arm independent of my body. Everything's moving together, guys, right in here. And then I'm going to toss the ball into the screen. One more time. Keep it simple. We're going to go up, keep my back to the target, arms drop, and then I'm going to go ahead and just throw it into the screen. All right. So now we're using the momentum of the arms the correct way. All right. What I don't want to do, guys, is keep my right arm bent for as long as I can. Most of you that try to do that, first of all, trying to keep anything bent requires tension. Tension in golf is the silent killer. If you're gripping it at an 8 or a 9 out of 10 here, you're not feeling any weight in the club head. The golf club isn't going to want to release the way it's supposed to. So we've got to make sure that that right arm, of course, in the initial part of the swing remains somewhat bent. But what I like to do is I like to feel it starting to straighten here. I'm actually laying the club down. You can see that. I'm not obsessed with trying to maintain angles for as long as I can here. What I need to understand is that I'm more likely to maintain angles and lag if I can get my arms swinging more freely relative to my body spinning. So if I can keep my upper body back, I start to drop my arms, I'm going to create more lag. That's the irony behind the whole thing. What you don't want to do here, guys, is try and tie your arms too much to your body. A lot of misconceptions out there with regard to lag. All right. So once I've done that drill a few times, I'm going to go ahead and swing slowly because I want to swing at a speed that I can feel. And I'm going to go ahead and get my arms elevating up to the top floor here, guys, okay? And then we're going to start to drop the arms out in front of our body, keeping the back to the target as I recenter. So my upper body stays back, and then I start to glide as my arms drop. And what I love about this is I start to feel, guys, that's tension, okay? But I start to feel my arm out in front of my body. Great feeling to have your arms in front of you and not behind you. I know you better players tend to slide too much, and that's nothing worse than that. And then we're hooking from here. And then you guys that are struggling with slices, of course, it's different but the same. You tend to spin your body, and again, the arms too far behind you. So, you know, that feeling of having your arms swinging almost past your body as a feeling, not a real, but a feel, is a really good thing. So let's go ahead and hit myself a little 75-yard 7-iron. People say 75-yard 7-iron. Why would I do that? Well, if I swing very, very slowly initially, here we go. Arms go up, arms go down. I get a feel for what it is that I'm doing. If I can feel my golf club, if I can feel what my arms are doing, guys, okay, I can start to speed it up, right? And that's what we want. Anytime you're training and you want to get into a good position, you need to swing at a speed you can feel. That's the best advice I can give you today. Less tension, and more feel, all right? You start to own the golf club. You start to get a feel and sense for what the arms are doing, what the club's doing. You can start to make changes. When you get out on the golf course, guys, don't get on the first tee and freeze like a popsicle. Work on your cadence and work on your rhythm. Incredibly important. Then I can speed things up, right? So I hit that last one out there, maybe 76 yards. A little bit of a handle drag on the last one. Didn't really feel the club releasing. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit better job getting that handle moving back towards us. All right, drag the handle a little bit on the last one. A little bit of a weak slice. So let's go ahead and do that one more time. Arms are going to drop. Arms in, arms up, arms drop. Different release. Completely felt that. So much different. I got a little training aid here, okay? I'm not getting paid to endorse it, but it's been very, very helpful. It's called The One. I'll put a link there in my description. What this has been quite helpful for my students, the sound of it snapping at the right time is incredibly important. So the first one I hit back there, the slow motion one, I kind of dragged the handle, right? So I really didn't get any snap at all. Weak shot to the right. A lot of people release it early. So what you hear is you hear a snap back here. So the wrists are too engaged early, almost like the wrists are kind of passing the elbow here, and we're throwing the club and releasing. That's the last thing I want. What I love about this is you can do this drill, okay? Arms dropping back to the target. You can see there's my linear speed, my arms. But then it really is wonderful for helping you exchange that linear momentum for angular momentum. We're moving the butt end of the golf club, guys, from one direction to the other very quickly. And mostly the faster we can change direction, the further we're going to hit it. So the butt end of the club, guys, goes from here, okay, where it's pointing towards my target, okay, to here where it's pointing at me, to here where it's actually pointing away from my target in a fairly short space of time. And it's being supported, of course, by the rotation of the body. We don't want to do it independent of the body. We're going to hit it left if we do that. And we don't want to do what most of you are doing, which of course is dragging the handle where we're hitting it way out to the right. So that's where this rhythm and cadence comes in. And this training aid, I think, is so incredibly helpful. So listen to where that snap is. I'm going to allow my arms to drop, my back stays to the target, chest stays behind me here. So there's my recentering, arms dropping. And then what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go ahead and exchange that linear to angular by snapping my wrists. And there's my release that you see with good players. You can see my right arm on top of my left, hands kind of to the side of the golf club here. I'm not flipping it. I'm not scooping it. I'm just allowing my forearms to rotate. And I'm getting that sound at the right time, guys. I'm getting the sound over here, which is what I love. I just love to hear that because I'm creating more speed. And you can increase the tension in this thing to create more resistance, which of course requires more speed, which is what I love. So I think it's excellent for speed training as well. So I've had some luck with that because what I find, it's a lot easier once I've done that a few times to translate that same feel when I'm hitting the golf ball, which is really, really important. So let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit. What did we get on the last one? Monstrous 100-yard 7-iron, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and speed it up now. Go to the top, allow my arms to work down, keep my back to the target. So rather than thinking about swinging inside out or dropping the club behind you or laying the club down, think about lowering your arms, right? So we go to the top of the backswing. You can see the elevator there. Up we go. If I lower my arms, can you see it naturally shallows the golf club? That's what I'm trying to get you to do. Let's go ahead and turn the volume up a little bit here. So a bit more speed. So we're going to go arms up, arms down, and then we rotate. So all I did was just speed things up a little bit. So now we're up to, 140, 150. Go ahead and do it again. Making sure that I don't spin my body too soon. Keep my upper body back. Feel my arms working down in front of my right hip here. And then I'm going to go ahead and change direction. That's simple, okay? Let's put a bit more mustard on this one. So if I want to hit it further, I'm going to move my arms, guys, faster. Okay, that's the difference. For most of you, what you're doing is you're getting here, you're locking up your arms 8 or 9 out of 10 rather than 5. Remember we said keep it the same. And then what you're doing is you're trying to move your body faster. It's not transferring any more speed to the club head. You already know that. It's almost like the harder you swing, the shorter you hit it, right? It's always those layups that go the furthest. So I'm going to do it one more time, but I'm going to just relax my arms at a 5, keep it constant throughout my golf swing. And then I'm going to allow my arms to drop, and I'm going to create a little bit more speed here. Okay, so we're going to go in and up, arms drop. And then we just go ahead and create a bit more club head speed. So where are we? That's pretty good. 170 yards. Right side of the green there. Maybe missed it a little bit to the right. A little bit of handle drag. Get the butt end of the club moving a little bit more towards me. This way, guys, okay? Let's see if we can improve our release a little bit more. Go ahead and do the same thing. Very happy with my speed. Let's do one more. That felt a lot better. We're getting there. Arms drop, club releases, okay? So arms drop, club releases. The smoother I swing, the further I hit it. It's always the same, and it's terribly counterintuitive. But understand the reason. The reason you're hitting it further when you swing smoother is tension, without any question, okay? What happens is you relax your arms, and when you relax your arms, the club drops and the club face rotates. That's what I want you to understand today. So get to work on the drill. Swing slowly initially. Take ownership of your golf swing, guys. I know you can do this, okay? No more transition spinning. Release the golf club freely. That's what it's all about. Have fun. Enjoy your golf. We'll see you next time.